Thank you all for coming. I'm Chief Ryan Zuderman, Chief of Police for your Lynchburg Police Department. It's my honor and pleasure to welcome everyone here today for this promotional ceremony. I'd like to thank you for joining us for this very special occasion. This event is streaming live on Facebook and will be available afterwards for your viewing. At this time, I'd like to ask Chaplain Jim Whitaker to come forward with our invocation.
Thank you. Chief used a very important word, celebration. This is a celebration. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. Great expectation for these folks sitting right here and for our department because of who they are and for the leadership that they have already brought and that they will be bringing. Let's ask Lord's blessing over this. Most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, we thank you. We welcome you into this place. We invite you to be here. We invite you to lead and guide and direct everything that takes place here. This is a celebration. We are thankful for these 4 individuals that are being promoted officially today. You have brought them to this place for this purpose. And I ask, Father, that you would bless them today, that it would be a real celebration in their heart and their inner soul, that they would be excited about what's to take place next. So we thank you, Lord, for your presence. Guide and direct, as I said. Bless this day and everybody in this room. In your holy name, I pray, amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Whitaker. This time, I'd like to introduce Deputy Chief Ken Edwards to come forward for comments, followed by our Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate each of you on your well-deserved promotion. Great job on all your hard work and dedication that led to your promotion. I know each of you will continue to do great things. I look forward to seeing what the future holds for you. I know being promoted can be overwhelming at first, but this is an exciting opportunity. And while you now have even more responsibilities, I know you are more than ready to handle them. Each of you possesses the leadership traits necessary to guide, mentor, develop our amazing men and women who have answered the call to serve and protect our great city. They will appreciate your supervision and level-headed guidance and the occasional constructive criticism more than you may ever know. Again, congratulations, and please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you with this transition to greater responsibility. Now I just ask for everyone to please stand and join me in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Edwards. This time, I'd ask Deputy Chief Mark Jameson to come forward for his comments, as well as recognition of guests and staff.
Good afternoon. I must say, as well as Deputy Chief Edwards, congratulations on well-deserved promotions. You've all deserved this. Been through a competitive process, and I know each one of you worked with you in various assignments, and it's a proud day for me to see you here today in the positions you are. I'll have some further comments once I introduce our special guests, which there are many. So if I don't call your name, just don't throw anything at me, and we'll try to recognize you. First of all, I would like to recognize Delegate Wendell Walker. Thank you for being here, sir. Commonwealth Attorney Bethany Harrison, Sheriff Don Sloan, and his Chief Deputy Tommy Carter. Thank you both for being here. City Councilman Sterling Wilder. Thank you for being here. From the City Manager's Office, our City Manager Winter Benda, and Deputy City Manager Greg Patrick. Thank you both for being here. Some law enforcement partners of ours that have been with us for many years, and we have a great partnership with our surrounding jurisdictions, including our state police. So thank you all for being here. First of all, Sonny Daniels, Assistant Secretary of Public Safety and Homeland Security. Thank you for being here. Major Ron Maxey, Captain Craig Warstrom, and Lieutenant Dave Edwards with the Virginia State Police. Thank you all for being here. We also have Matt Hall with the Virginia Attorney General's Office. Thank you, Matt. Great supporter of ours and surrounding jurisdictions, and thank you for being here, Matt. Some department directors from the city of Lynchburg. We have Deputy Director Amy McDaniel from Department of Emergency Services. Thank you, Amy, for being here. We have our Fire Chief, Greg Wormser. Thank you, sir, for being here. We have many LPD retirees, so it's going to take me a minute, which is a great testament to our agency and you all here that they want to be here to recognize you. We have retired Chief Chuck Bennett. Thank you, sir, for being here. Retired Captain Leon Thomas. Retired Lieutenant Thomas Lawton. Hey, way over there. It's in the back row. Retired Deputy Chief Todd Swisher, who is also will be part of the ceremony. We'll talk a little bit more about him later, but thank you for being here. Retired Lieutenant J.J. Stapleton. Retired Officer Scott Glass. Way back there, or another back row. Retired Officer Sandra Woldridge. Thank you for being here. And I think this one we'll recognize here is retired Sergeant Kevin Singleton. Thank you, sir. And retired professional staff member Teresa Reynolds, who recently retired October 1st. So thank you, Teresa, for being here. You must be somewhere, another back row. My goodness. That's all right. That's all right. If there's anybody else I missed, and there's some other people that will be part of the ceremony that we'll introduce as well, I apologize. We have Chaplain Jim Winterker, who you've met, biggest supporter of ours, and thank you, Jim, for being here as always. And from One Community, One Voice, we have Robin Robinson. Thank you, Robin, for being here. Big partner of ours, One Community, One Voice, a great organization. And if I've missed anybody, now it's time to throw something, because I can introduce you, but thank you all for being here. It's really important for this day, recognizing these individuals getting promoted. I'd also like to introduce the command staff. First of all, retired Officer Anna Mae Westling. She's part of the ceremony, but she's here today. You've met our Chief, Ryan Zudema, Deputy Chief Ken Edwards, Captain Nick Leger, and Captain Tim Clements. Real quick, there's a couple things I want to offer to you four that are sitting here today. There are different ways that you lead people, and different ways that you operate on a daily basis, but one of the most interesting things I saw was from an individual named Brad Lomanik, leadership in 3 phases. You must stay humble. Calling is where strengths and passion come together. Figure out who you are. True success means helping others be successful, and getting ahead means helping others get ahead. Too much pride and ego get in the way of many supervisors' effectiveness. Never forget that. Stay hungry. You have never arrived. You are never there yet. You're still a learner. If you are not learning, you are not leading to your full potential. And lastly, always hustle. A standard of excellence that we do our job, the best of what we do, being great at what we do, faithful with what you have been given. Instill in people around you a sense of hope. Everyone that you come in contact with should see the hope in you. They should want what you have. And lastly, people would rather follow a leader who is real versus a leader who is always right. Don't try to be a perfect leader. Just work on being an authentic one. And congratulations. I'll turn it back over to Chief Zudema.
Thank you, Mark. So today is a great day. You're going to hear some common themes here. We don't share notes ahead of time. If you hear things more than once, it probably means it's important, right? But I am just thrilled to be here as a chief. This is hands down one of the most important and certainly rewarding things I get to do. I am truly blessed to have folks like you and many others, an incredible group of coworkers that really make my job easy. It's easy to stand in front of a news camera and stand in front of wherever I need to speak about the great work that the women and men of the LPD do. Promotional ceremonies are really special moments for the LPD. This afternoon, we've gathered to celebrate this achievement that carries many years of dedication to every Lynchburg resident and visitor, an achievement that wouldn't be possible without the love and support of friends and loved ones. So at this time, I would ask, if you are a family member or a friend of one of our 4 promotees, would you please stand to be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. I'd like to personally thank all of you, those here to support Lisa, Titus, Barbara, and Crystal, and for supporting them along the way. None of them got here by themselves. Many of you have heard me say this before, but being a police officer is not the most difficult job in America. Being a family member of a police officer is truly the most difficult job in America. Leadership in any law enforcement organization is challenging even during the best of times. All of you stepped into leadership roles during what is arguably the most challenging time our profession has maybe ever seen. You're being asked to take on roles that require the highest level of integrity and steadfast calm, regardless of the circumstances. Your personnel are dependent upon your leadership now more than ever. I know all four of you have the internal strength, the wisdom, and the courage to carry the LPD forward as we continue to provide the highest level of service to our community. Each of you has taken a different path to get here today. Some of those paths were anything but straight. And all of them included some bumps along the way. Regardless, you have all earned these new titles and are positioned to mentor the next generation of our LPD officers. My expectations of you are very simple. First, serve as an example. Second, build relationships in our community. And third, mentor those around you. All of these require you to assume a greater level of responsibility as you are expected to make increasingly more difficult decisions. Remember, you are being watched at all times. Congratulations. I am proud of each one of you, and I truly, truly mean that. We talk a lot about history and legacy at the LPD. This organization has been around since 1805. We are in our 217th year as a law enforcement agency. The badge that you wear carries the weight and legacy of all those who've come before you. We have a tradition with our promotional ceremony where those being promoted are presented their badge by an officer who previously wore it. A passing of the guard, so to say. To present the badges today, we are honored to have with us retired Deputy Chief Todd Swisher, retired Lieutenant J.J. Stapleton, retired Sergeant Norman Clater, and current Lieutenant Craig Dowdy. I'll share a little bit more about each of them momentarily when I ask them to offer a few brief words to you about their time wearing the badge and its legacy. So without further ado, we're going to get to what everybody actually came here for, which is not to hear me talk, but to actually watch our promotees get pinned with their new badges and rank insignia. So I'm going to be assisted by Deputy Chief Edwards, Captain Leger, and Captain Clements, who will read bios here in just a second. And I'm going to transition over here to the front so we can get this part started. So this time I would ask Captain Lisa Singleton to come forward, along with her husband, who is retired Sergeant Kevin Singleton. To join them will be retired Deputy Chief Todd Swisher. Todd served with the LPD for 27 years. He's now serves as our clerk of the court for our circuit court, so he couldn't get service out of his blood yet. He wanted to make sure he stayed around. He will be presenting badge number 11. That badge was worn by Deputy Chief Swisher as a lieutenant from 2005 to 2011. If you could come forward, say a few words, and I will get the insignia.
Sure. Well, good afternoon. I really appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this today. I'd like to first congratulate Lisa, Titus, Barbara, Crystal. What an impressive group you all are. Each of you is an example of all that is right with the LPD. I know this is a special day for you and your respective families. It's a great day for the LPD and the Lynchburg community. I have so much respect for all four of you. So I've been asked to take just a moment and share why badge number 11 is important to me. And there are a few reasons why. On a personal note, my son Hayden was born on the 11th of July. He wore number 11 during his high school and collegiate baseball career. I also wore number 11 when I played competitive sports in the late 1800s. So, but I digress. But more importantly, what the badge means to me. So the badge represents a lot to me. It represents all that is truly special about the law enforcement profession. It represents a collection of men and women who are among the very finest that our society has to offer. Very, very few ever have the privilege of wearing the badge. It represents an organization that's committed towards the highest standards of policing and the highest ethical standards. It represents all the intrinsic traits that make the law enforcement profession so unique and extraordinary. Character, integrity, honor, duty, responsiveness, selflessness, courage, and a collective resolve to serve and protect. All traits that seemingly are a little scarce in today's society, today's world. It also finally represents an opportunity to live a life that counts, that truly is meaningful and impactful. And that's something that all of us should be concerned with. So Lisa, in closing, I'm so proud to have been a part of the LPD. I'm so proud of you. You've had a tremendous career here at the LPD. Just a great, great person, great, great family. I have no doubt that you will wear badge number 11 with distinction as you help lead the LPD into the future. So Lisa, congratulations. I know I speak for everyone in the room when I say we are very, very happy for you. Congratulations.
Lisa Singleton has been employed with the LPD since December 2002. Throughout her career, she has worked in patrol, vice and narcotics, criminal investigations, traffic and safety, and the Office of the Chief of Police. Most recently, she has served as a staff lieutenant, commander of the Crisis Negotiations Team, and the LPD Public Information Officer. Lisa has received career awards for meritorious service, honorable service, and firearm proficiency. She has completed several leadership programs, including Institute for Leadership in Changing Times, Professional Executive Leadership School, and National Criminal Justice Command College at UVA. In her spare time, Lisa enjoys camping with friends, traveling abroad, and coaching girls softball for Forest Youth Athletics. She also serves as the president of the Lynchburg Police Helping Hands Foundation, which is a local nonprofit organization that raises money to assist LPD employees and their families during times of need. Lisa is married to retired LPD Sergeant Kevin Singleton, and they have 2 children, Caitlin, age 13, and Colton, age 8. Perfect time. I present to you Captain Lisa Singleton.
So we'll let Lisa say a few words here in just a second. So I told you earlier that the LPD's been around for 217 years. And what you're looking at right here is the first female captain in the history of the LPD.
I told him not to do that. I know. Wow, just thank you to everyone who's here to support me. It's a lot. Those of you, friends, family, command staff members, chief, city manager, co-workers, just thank you for all your support. Thank you for being here. You know, you all see the challenges that we face every day. A lot of you live them. But there's also a lot of rewards. And I think hard work, perseverance, resiliency, and encouragement from each other is what helps us continue to succeed in this profession and move on, you know, day to day. So I am looking forward to the opportunity at this new rank, the different responsibilities that come along with it. And Chief, I appreciate you believing in me and allowing me to continue to represent this department at this new level. Thank you.
We didn't rehearse, sorry. We'll go through that. At this time, I'd ask Lieutenant Titus Burgess, Jr. to come forward. He'll be joined by Titus Burgess, Sr., retired from Virginia State Police, and as well as Titus Burgess III, his son. Joining them will be retired Lieutenant J.J. Stapleton. So Lieutenant Stapleton served the LPD for 32 years. During that time, he wore badge number 22 from 1997 until his retirement in 2007. I won't say what year you started, Jim, but definitely.
I was watching Todd play basketball in 1800s.
Okay. All right.
He was good.
So we're going to ask JJ at this point to come forward and say a few words to Titus. So.
Titus, is quite the coincidence that I had the pleasure of working with your dad for 3+ decades. An honorable man. State troopers, when you never saw them without their hats, their uniforms were perfect, and we strive to be what all you guys are. And thank y'all, Captain, and all the rest of you guys. It was unbelievable. We strive to be what y'all were. If you walk nearly the straightest path as your dad, your family would be so proud. Times changed a lot since the early 70s. They called the other day, and the academy class down the street is now class 100. I had the privilege of being in the black and white picture in the top left corner of class number 1. We wrote with pencils, but proud that you guys have stuck around long enough to achieve promotions. The lifespan, or the active duty time, rather, active duty time of police is not what it used to be, but y'all sticking around and putting up with the cell phones and the yabber and the disrespect. That if I had a hat on, I would take it off to every one of you. But thank y'all for what you're doing to stay safe.
Lieutenant Titus Burgess, Jr. has served with the Lynchburg Police Department since December 2009. He currently serves as a lieutenant in field operations. During his career with the LPD, Titus has served in patrol, in the intelligence unit, personnel and recruitment, CERT team, and he started out with us as a cadet. Titus's awards include the Honorable Service Award, multiple team unit citations, and Officer of the Month. In addition to his normal duties, he has worked with the Boys and Girls Club, the Coalition Against Domestic Violence, Badges for Basketball, and Special Olympics. In his spare time, he enjoys Virginia Tech Hokies football, camping, and sports card collecting. Titus's father, Titus Burgess Sr., and his son, Titus Burgess III, will be penning his badge today. I present to you Lieutenant Titus Burgess, Jr.
All right, so I remember Titus when he started out in what we call our baby blues as a cadet, and he was always eager, even back then, to get involved and do as much as he can. So very, very happy for you today, and we'll give you an opportunity now to say a few words.
There's a lot of people that are here today. I really appreciate a lot of you guys coming. My wife, thank you. Like, you have a much harder job than I do. You put up with your 2 kids. I tell people my wife has 3 kids because I'm included in that mix. So thank you, seriously. I couldn't be me without you, so thank you for all you do. My parents, amazing role models. My dad, my mom, both are just amazing people. And I get a mixed reaction when I say my name is Titus Burgess. They're like, oh man, I know your dad, or oh man, I met your dad. So a couple people in this room probably got a ticket from him at some point, but no, just thank you guys. I appreciate you guys more than you know. There's so many people that I would love to stand here and thank, and I feel like I would be doing a disservice if I did that individually, because I would leave people out, but everyone knows who they are. Thank you guys for everything that you've done for me for my entire career, and command staff, I definitely will not let you guys down. I appreciate it. Thank you.
This time I'd ask Sergeant Barbara Gibson to come forward, along with her husband Paul and her son Joshua. Joining them will be retired Sergeant Norman Clater. Sergeant Clater served for 26 years with the LPD. Somehow, Norman, we got hired 6 months apart. You're already retired, and I'm not. I'm not sure what's wrong with this equation here. But Norman wore badge number 73 from 2018 to 2022. So he's one of our more recent retirees. You want to change your mind yet, Norman?
No, sir.
You good? All right. Good. All right. So it's my honor to let retired Sergeant Norman Clater say a few words to Sergeant Gibson. So.
As the chief said, I just recently retired, and I remember when I got promoted, we done mine in the basement in the roll call room. So what you're doing here, Chief, is a great thing. And when I was going to get promoted, I was told I had my choice of a couple different badge numbers, and 73 was one of them. Well, 73 is actually the year my wife was born, so that's why I took that. So it means a lot to me. And then as I was starting to get ready for retirement, Barbara, who I've known, she was actually here a year before I got hired. So we were talking, and she was actually in the promotional process, and we laughed and joked that, it'd be cool if she took over 73 and just kept going with it. Well, fast forward a few months later, she's now going to be promoted, and she calls me and tells me that she gets 73, and that's a big honor for me. I really appreciate you taking 73, and I have no doubt that you will honor that badge as much as I did, because it meant a lot to me. Congratulations to you, and congratulations to the rest of y'all. Job well done.
Sergeant Barbara Gibson originally served with the Lynchburg Police Department from 1995 to 2007, and she returned to the LPD in 2019. She currently serves as a patrol sergeant in field operations. During her time with the LPD, Barbara has served in patrol, criminal investigations, the Vice and Narcotics Unit, and the Uniform Narcotics Unit at the time. Barbara's awards include the Humanitarian Award, the Meritorious Service Award, and the Honorable Service Award. In her spare time, she enjoys buying and selling vintage items, which she tells me is not quite like antiquing, but it sounds like the same thing to me. Barbara's husband, Paul, and her son, Joshua, is pinning her badge today. I present to you Sergeant Barbara Gibson.
So I failed to mention Paul Gibson, also retired from Virginia State Police, so thank you for your service as well. You see a police connection here and several of these folks. There was something I mentioned earlier on about not everybody took a straight path to where they got here. That may have been directed at Barbara a little bit. We worked together in 1999, I think, in Narcotics Strike Force. I would tell you stories about those times about Barbara, but unfortunately she has a lot she could tell of me, so I will just stay silent up here. But certainly proud of you, Barbara. She came back to us a couple years ago and said, hey, I'd love to come back, but I'm not going to waste your time or mine if you don't want me back. And I said, no, absolutely. We would love to have you back. And just really happy to be able to promote you today along with your three coworkers. So this time you can come on forward and say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, command staff. I'd like to thank Chief Bennett, who, in his wisdom, hired me in 1995, and then hiring me back in 2019. It's been a great ride. I want to thank my husband and my son. My son was born here into the Lynchburg Police Department family when I was in investigations back in 1995, so he's been through it all with me. My husband, who is always supporting me, making me breakfast no matter what time of the day that I go to work. He's always there for me, and I appreciate it. I'd like to thank Nate and Bill and Lee for their great leadership while I was on D Platoon, getting me ready for this. And I want to thank the men and women of D Platoon for allowing me to be their mom and watch them grow. But thank you all. I appreciate everything.
Last but not least, like Sergeant Crystal Morris. Getting used to that. It was Stevenson up to a few weeks ago, so she just got married, joined by her husband, Charlie Morris. They'll be accompanied by Lieutenant Craig Dowdy. So Lieutenant Dowdy is currently in charge of our Special Investigations Division. He served with the LPD for about 18 years, and he wore badge number 58 from 2017 to 2018. So at this time, I'd like you to come forward and say a few words, please.
Crystal, you didn't know you were getting my badge, did you? It's great. And it's not a coincidence, actually. First of all, I'm extremely proud of you. I don't know if you thought about this or not, but when I wore this badge, I was your supervisor. And I don't believe it's a coincidence. Honestly, I believe that this moment has been ordained by God since before the foundation of the world. And so I asked him, what do you want me to say in a moment like this? So I was reflecting on that, and I thought back to when I was your supervisor, when I had this badge, and I remembered the adversities that you were going through, both personally and professionally. And just those moments of being able to have those conversations as real people and to be able to walk alongside you through that. It was a good time for me to be able to pour in and mentor you the way that people had done for me when I wore that badge as well. And so it wasn't just the adversity, though. You see, you persevered through the adversity, and you've grown. And so those three words stood out to me: adversity, perseverance, and growth. And I remembered when I got that badge, I faced a lot of adversity at that time. I had to make a lot of hard decisions, both professionally and personally in my own life. And I had to persevere through them, and I grew. And I've seen that in you. So what I'm telling you is that as you put this badge on, get ready for more adversity. You're welcome. It's going to come. But I know you, okay? I know how hard-headed you are. And the obstacle is the way. Strong-willed. Hard-headed. I'll use that word. She knows what I mean. But the obstacle is the way. You're not going to go around it. You're going to go through it. And you will grow as a result. And so I'm extremely proud of you. And I look forward to seeing what you're going to do in your future as a supervisor. And the men and women underneath you are just going to be better for it. So congratulations. Yeah.
Sergeant Crystal Morris has been with the LPD since 2003 after leaving the Roanoke PD and finding her way to the right side of the mountains. Her previous assignments include Criminal Investigations Division within Vice Narcotics and in patrol. During that time, she's been assigned to roles such as an FTO and a member of the LPD gang unit, as well as the street crimes unit. There we go. She currently serves as a sergeant of the B platoon assigned to field operations. Crystal is also a member of the C&T team and on the peer support team. She's been awarded the Commonwealth Attorney's Award during her career, and she is also active in her community. She is a RAD instructor and teaches self-defense to women in the Lynchburg area, and she is a sitting member of the PBA Association Board. She holds a bachelor's degree in psychology with crisis counseling specialization and proudly served in the Army National Guard for 6 years. When she's not working, she enjoys any fitness-related activities, traveling, and spending time with her family. And her husband, Charlie Morris, is pinning on her insignia. Yes, ma'am. I present to you Sergeant Crystal Morris.
I won't tell you what we call those little things that are on the back. It ends with it and begins with a D, because we always drop them and lose them, right? So Crystal came to us, as you heard, from Roanoke City, and I talked to, sorry? In 20, oh, did we say 03? She said, I'm not that old, I think is what she said. Yeah, so she came to us from Roanoke City, and former chief over there, Tim Jones, and now Sam Roman, I know both well, and I always give them a hard time when I see them because their loss was absolutely our gain. Crystal's done a lot of great things in the time she's been here. I'm certainly excited about this opportunity for you, and I know you'll continue to do great work as a sergeant. So congratulations, and we'll let you say a few words.
Okay. Get to be last. There are a lot of people that obviously helped me get here. I had a pivotal moment in my life in my mid-20s, mid to late 20s, and my son is not able to be here today, but he's 21. He was 6 at the time, and I took a hard left, trusted God, and kept moving, and trusted some good guidance from a family member, my dad, John. And joined the military. A year later, I was in police academy. We made a big move from Atlanta, Georgia to here, and had tremendous support from my family to help me as a single parent go through all those milestones. So first off, I just really thank you guys for your guidance and just helping me get there and keep moving. I just kept trusting. So I've trusted that process all the way since that time. It's led me down many paths. It's led me to a great career that I look forward to keeping on progressing and keeping on growing and learning, and just being the best person that I can be for this agency and representing this agency in this city in the best manner possible. My new husband, Charlie, not in law enforcement, not in public safety at all. So he has been through a wild, short ride in the last several years, from investigations getting thrown back to patrol, which I kind of initiated, and just to see how everything went. And he is my rock, and I couldn't be here without his support. And just look forward to that continuing. Love you. And last but not least, obviously, there are so many mentors in this room that have helped me through personal, professional, good times, bad times. You all know who you are. And leaders in this organization that have seen me through and guided me. And I just look forward to taking on that torch and soaking all that in, and like I said, just continuing to grow with this agency and representing it as best as I possibly can. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
So one of our other traditions that we do with our promotional and swearing-in ceremonies is we go over the oath of honor. In 2000, the International Association of Chiefs of Police developed a law enforcement oath of honor as a means of formally communicating and reinforcing the critical importance of right and honorable action with this profession. I'm happy to say that our very own Chuck Bennett, retired police chief here, was on the IACP committee that developed this oath. One of the things we do with this oath is we ask a retiree to come to help lead us in the oath. And today I'm happy to have with us retired Police Officer 3, Anna Mae Westling. So Anna Mae has over 3 decades of service to her country, and our community. She served 4.5 years in the United States Air Force, 1.5 years with the United States Secret Service under President Ronald Reagan, 3 years with the Lynchburg Sheriff's Office, 23 years with the Lynchburg Police Department, and if that wasn't enough, when she retired from us, she decided she'd spend about 6 more years working as a part of the U.S. Marshal Service down in the federal court building, providing court security. So to say she's had a full life, she's smiling a lot more now that she's retired, I think, but she's definitely done a lot and certainly served our community as well as our country. So it's my honor to ask her to come forward now to say a few words and then lead us all in the oath of honor. Anna Mae?
Thanks, Ron. Thank you. Appreciate it. First of all, I'd like to say how honored I am to be here. I retired 10 years ago from here. Haven't been back since. So you guys got me here, and I'm so happy that I came. You are not here from just a flip of the coin. You're here because you worked hard, you're dedicated, and you got the right stuff. And it's going to take you a long ways. And I can't remember who said it earlier, but just be true to yourself. Don't pretend to be somebody you're not. Just get in there and do your job, and you will be fine, and y'all will make great, great police officers. And I know you already are. But I just wanted to say that there is life after you leave the police department, though. So that's something to look forward to. I know y'all will be here for a long time, but it's great once you do leave and you have that feeling that you've actually accomplished something. I'm very proud of my service with the police department, but I'm also glad that I'm doing other things now, too. But I'm very proud of all of y'all, and like I said, you didn't get here by chance, and everything's going to work out. You may have some bumps and bruises along the way, but just get up and keep on going. Okay. Right now, I would like to invite every sworn officer, law enforcement officer present, to stand up, to raise your right hand, and to repeat after me the law enforcement oath of honor. On my honor.
On my honor.
I will never betray my badge.
I will never betray my badge.
My integrity.
My integrity.
My character.
My character.
Or the public trust.
Or the public trust.
I will always have the courage.
I will always have the courage.
To hold myself and others.
To hold myself and others.
Accountable for our actions.
Accountable for our actions.
I will always uphold the Constitution.
I will always uphold the Constitution.
The community.
The community.
And the agency I serve.
And the agency I serve.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
So we've heard a lot about legacy, and we've heard a lot about integrity and a lot of other things that we really hold true to this profession. I know we mentioned names earlier, but if I could I just have all of our retirees from the LPD as well as a retiree from any other law enforcement agency stand real quick to be recognized. Thank you. As a department, we have a lot of good things on the horizon. 4 of them you're looking at right here in the front row. You are each going to be a part of this. Some of you represent the next generation of leadership here at the LPD. All of you are responsible for mentoring the next generation of leadership here. Never underestimate the impact you have on those around you, even times when you don't think anyone is watching. Be an example of positivity and professionalism every hour of every day. Quite simply, you set the tone for our department, good or bad. Take time to enjoy this moment. Life goes by way too fast. Take the time to remember why you love this profession. As a partner and protector for our community, you serve as a role model for not just our staff, but for our residents and our visitors. Again, I am truly proud of each one of you. You are a huge part of our collective success. Again, congratulations. As we get ready to conclude, I'd like to thank a number of people who've helped make this ceremony possible. City Council first for the use of the council chambers here, our retirees for being part of the ceremony. This is a big part of who we are as an organization. Mrs. Vicki West, who's done a lot of behind-the-scenes work to make this happen. Lieutenant Greg Coleman, Recruit Kim Brown, Cadet Graham Walker, and Cadet Cameron Leadich, who helped with a variety of things to make this happen. So thank you all for that. This time I'd ask Chaplain Whitaker to come forward with our benediction, and then we will move upstairs for a reception if you'd like to join us. Chaplain Whitaker.
Thank you, Chief. Well, has this been a celebration? Amen. Praise God. I think I've known all of you since the time you started with the department. I'm extremely proud. I've had some tears in my eyes today. You've earned it. You are the best of the best. God has brought you here. I have no doubt. Craig Dowdy said it better than I just did. From the very foundation of the earth, God had plans for you to be right here. So serve our community well. There will be challenges. Call me. I grew up in a police family. My brother retired from Henrico County, investigator. His son is now wearing his badge. So God bless you. You have my phone number. I'm available to you 24/7. Don't hesitate to call. I'm going to pray God's blessings over you now. Father, we do thank you. You have ordained this day. You have ordained these four individuals to be where they are. It's a calling that you put on their life. They're well trained. They're well respected. I pray, Father, that you will lead them, guide them, direct them in every step of the way, in every decision that they make. Some of those decisions are going to be extremely difficult, but they're up to the challenge because you will be there by their side. I pray that you would keep them safe. As I pray over every police officer in this department and from other agencies that are here today, that you would protect them, that at the end of their shift of every day, they would go home safely to their families. Bless their families. Encourage their families. Assure their families that you are there with them. So watch over and care for everybody in this room. We ask it in your holy name. Amen.
So for family, we do have Lieutenant Adam Sexton in the back who's serving as our department photographer today. So if family would like to get pictures with the promotees, you're welcome to come forward after we break here. Again, if you'd like to join us for a reception, we'll be out those doors straight across the hall. There is either an elevator or stairs. If you take the elevator, you will need someone who is a city employee with an access card to get off the elevator. Otherwise, it will go nowhere other than the first floor. If you can take the stairs and choose to do that, we'll have somebody at the top of the stairs to let you in. So again, thank everyone for being here. Let's give the promotees one more big hand of applause.